Hey folks, Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter. Welcome back to the podcast called Behind the Badge with another quick hit. Senator Pam Helming's with me today. The PROTECT Act, Senate Bill number 2282. We got it across the board a little bit today. We introduced it to the public, and you and your folks helped write this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Baxter. I can't say how much I appreciate your insight. It helped make this bill real. It helped make it something that will really work for people. Now we just got to get it passed, get it over the finish line.
Yeah, that's the easy part, right?
Yeah.
We know we got an uphill battle, but this is a battle that needs to be fought. We truly believe that the reforms, most of them were justified to have some type of reform to our criminal justice over the last 5-6 years, but some of them just need to be filled in, right? The gaps. Any plan that's executed needs to be reevaluated and just fix things that aren't working. And this does that. It's bipartisan. It's the middle of the road. I think you spent a lot of time, and we talked about it in the press conference. You did. We spent a lot of time making sure this is down the middle of the fairway, that it's not the two bookends yelling at each other, that people can support this on both sides of the aisle.
Yes, so one of the complaints when bail reform and some of the other criminal justice reforms happened in 2019 is we got a lot of feedback from people that, like law enforcement and others who work in this field, didn't have a seat at the table. And so we've had a number of years to see how those reforms have played out, and we see where there are opportunities to make improvements. And that's what we've done, working with you, working with the Consortium for a Safe Community. We've gathered people together, business leaders, religious leaders, people in law enforcement, the district attorneys. We talked to judges, and we're just trying to close that gap to allow our courts to be able to assess the dangerousness of a person pre-trial.
Yeah, and it's funny, you talk about the consortium. We sit in those meetings, it's sometimes 30, 40 people. They're not all yes people. It's not bobbleheads going up and down just smiling at whatever you or someone else has to say, right? There's debate, there's dialogue, there's input. They're saying, no, we can't go that far. Let's bring it back a little over here. And with that, then we go to a wonderful person like you, and we go to our bill writers, and they were able to flush this all out, I think, in a pretty comprehensive way. That we're just asking them to let it move forward through the committees, move it forward through the system. Let there be debate on the floor about this. Let there be a vote on this, because this is what we're begging for, literally begging.
Absolutely. And I think what's really exciting about today, we rolled it out, as you said, for the first time to the public, and we just got word last night that the bill is actually going to go to the Codes Committee in the Senate on Monday.
Fantastic.
So that's very exciting news, a great first step.
Yeah, positive step forward. And the PROTECT Act is just, again, to identify people that are dangerous by a clear, defined matrix. DCJS, Department of Criminal Justice, will put that together for us. And it's the same thing that 49 other states are doing. Be able to look at someone accused of a crime, they're innocent until proven guilty. We all believe in that. But sometimes you just look at people and go, that's just a dangerous person that shouldn't be walking our streets right now. Pre-trial, let's get them detained long enough to at least intervene in their life.
Right. Creating this standardized assessment tool, I think, is going to be really helpful. We have seen so many crimes occur with repeat offenders.
Right.
And the other thing the PROTECT Act does, if it's a repeat offender who is out pre-trial, if they commit another Class A or a felony, that they will then be held.
Yeah, and that's incredible. We know people are walking around, some either mental health issues or addiction issues. Some are just brazen criminals that refuse to stop. We had that case the other day in Henrietta, where that criminal just refuses to stop. He's a predicate felon. He's still going to walk in the store and do whatever he wants to do, punch the store owner in the face, and then pull a gun and shoot a 9-year-old. He just needs to be detained under some type of part of our law. We can't accept this as our norm. And so those are what we're trying to fill the gap. Very intentional carve out here, if you will, or inputted, I should say, into this is a consideration of mental health in here. And using our mental health hygiene law at the arraignment process and asking judges to make sure you're considering this is probably a mental health issue. Let's get this person into treatment as opposed to jail.
Exactly. We have included that in the PROTECT Act as well. And I think it's important for some people to know as well that this assessment by the courts must be completed within 48 hours.
Right. They're not sitting there for weeks.
Exactly.
Right, and forgotten
Exactly.
about.
That was very important.
Yeah, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. In today's press conference, I'm so excited. We just walked out of there, folks, if you don't know. We had everybody. We had the who's who of the world that really cares. It was every law enforcement agency considered, district attorneys. There was legislators from both aisles, from Monroe County. There was, there was crime victims. right? There was people that had their kids murdered.
And there were so many people who wanted to be here but couldn't
Yeah,
be here.
yeah.
And we also have letters of support from the New York State Sheriff's Association, from consortiums really across upstate New York, and we're working on gathering more, from Lifespan, who sees the PROTECT Act
Yeah.
as a positive to protect elders.
Yeah, we've had great conversations with the Chamber of Commerce here in Monroe County. They're on board. I mean, the list goes on and on. That this is a well-rounded, well-thought-out, comprehensive. Stop with the digging in the foxholes in your little corner of philosophy, and let's come to the middle of the road. This is what people are demanding. I truly believe. You walk the streets more than I do right now. People are saying, well, why aren't you working together?
Yeah. People don't understand. I mean, I did a little post on Facebook about the PROTECT Act, and their response is, are you kidding me?
Right.
This isn't already
Yeah,
part
right.
of our
Are you
law.
kidding me?
They can't believe it. People
Yeah.
are saying enough is enough. They
Yeah.
want something addressed. And I know the governor in her budget proposal is really pushing some necessary changes to Discovery.
Right.
I think the PROTECT Act is a nice complement
Yeah, good
to
way to put
her
it.
Discovery.
That's a good way to put it. And I said it during the press conference. I couldn't appreciate more what the governor's doing, using the budget process to at least fill in the gaps of discovery. That's what we're trying to do with bail reform with this bill, right?
Exactly.
Just fill in those gaps and not change it all. You've been out there pounding the pavement already. We so appreciate it. You're writing a great bill. And I think this is, again, what people are demanding. People are demanding that we work together both sides of the aisle. And I don't know if people know I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, right? It's like,
Yes.
who cares?
Right.
Who really cares in this world? Let's concentrate on crime victims and then getting the people that are perpetrating these crimes under control and finding out why they're committing a crime.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to community safety, you're exactly right. People want everyone at the table, everyone working together. And there's another side of this that doesn't get discussed because we're always focused on the victims, but really the economic impact
Right.
that this is having on our
Yeah.
communities. I shared the story about how I hear from constituents in outlying areas who sometimes are afraid or concerned about coming to Rochester anymore. But the reality is these crimes are happening all over the state of New York, not just here in Rochester, but there's an easy way to address it.
Easy way that's fair, that's measurable, that's concise, it's clean. That's what I like about this bill. And you nailed it. We looked at 4 box stores just in one town in Monroe County for 18 months. They let us look at their books. $7.5 million lost just with 4 stores. Who's paying that bill? We all are, right? And more importantly, the elderly or the poor people in our community got to pay the same inflation rate.
Right.
So, Senator, thank you so much. I'm so excited. This is just a great way to
Fantastic.
put forward. We will do all we can in Albany, knocking on doors, going to the constituents, but more importantly, we're going to every neighborhood across New York State and telling people why you got to get out and support this.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Till next week, folks. Sheriff Baxter, behind the badge. Thank you.